Greetings. I am the Elite Sun Goddess, the Goddess General, sharing my energetic signature with the globe. And I'm going to talk briefly concerning the communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches. Okay. The CREC leader and co founder, which is Pastor Doug Wilson. And I'm going to also speak on Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense for the United States government. Okay. These two are acquainted through a shared, deeply conservative theological and ideological framework, nationalism and strict patriarchy. Pete Hegseth, Hegseth is a member of Pilgrim Hill Reformed Fellowship in Tennessee, a congregation affiliated with CREC, which is the Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, of Christian nationalism and dominionism, and a belief that Christians should exercise authority over all aspects of society, including government and education. There have been reports of the women in the CREC churches facing marital abuse, with pastors allegedly teaching wives must submit and cannot refuse their husbands, creating an environment where assault might be normalized or ignored. Pete Hegseth, a former Fox and Friends weekend cohort host and Donald Trump's nominee of Secretary of Defense, was accused of sexual assault in 2017. While no charges were filed, the incident involved a confidential settlement payment made by Hegseth in 2020 to prevent a potential lawsuit. I just wanted to put that out there. Now, moving forward, Pete Hegseth is now confirmed as Secretary of Defense. Doug Wilson is also central to controversy for his hardline theology, including past defenses of slavery as beneficial. I'm going to let that just sink in, okay? Both Hegseth and Wilson hold views that align with dominionistic theology, which argue that Christianity should influence all aspects of life, including government and public spaces. Now, this is my personal opinion on that. It sounds like the white missionaries and slave owners when they gave specially edited slave Bibles to enslaved indigenous people, removing passages about freedom, emphasizing obedience to authority, to control them, making it a tool for religious conversion and social control, not liberation. Now, while some enslaved people independently access parts of the Bible, these censored versions published from the late 1800s were deliberately distributed by those in power. About 90% of the Old Testament and 50% of the New Testament were omitted. However, we can have a conference on that. Nonetheless, we get to Trump and his relationship with Hegseth. It is characterized by personal loyalty and ideological alignment. And though tested by administrative controversy in 2025, Trump views Hegseth as his quote-unquote change agent to purge quote-unquote woke policies from the military. And woke policies prioritize social engineering, identity politics, or progressive ideology over combat readiness and lethality. Now, specific policies frequently labeled as quote-unquote woke include diversity, equity, and inclusion, which are the DEI programs, LGBTQ plus inclusion and gender identity, gender neutral standards, climate initiatives, updated appearance standards, and reproductive health care. In conclusion, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. These people put these things right in your face, but because you choose to stay asleep, they continue with harvesting off of your energy as they siphon it from you because you don't wake up to speak up. This is for you to see the correlation in these relationships and what's happening in the government right now, for you to wake up from your sleep. to embrace your personal energetic sovereignty, to remember who you are. And to the ones not slumbering, continue to wake the sleepers. I am the elite sun goddess, the goddess general. I am master, and I self Lord. Ashe, Alaseh.